All right, here we're in downtown Fort Worth, well, not exactly downtown, but on Magnolia Street. And Mr. Mehl was a famous coin seller, M-E-H-L, and this is his building with no historical marker or anything. This right here in this angle is where his famous book, maybe if I can get a picture of it, the Star Coin Collecting Guide, shows his building built in 1916 with a streetcar in front of it. Showing then he did this. He had this building built for him in 1916 because he was a very successful coin collector here in Fort Worth. In 1910, they said that probably the Fort Worth Post Office said that 1/2 of all the mail delivered to Fort Worth went to Mr. Mehl, M-E-H-L. We're going to go take a look at the front facade where he has some of his coins in the building. Yes, we're on another side of the picture. You see on top of the building, it shows his name, M-E-H-L. Mr. Mehl came from, they say he came from Lithuania. Actually, he was born in Poland, and then he went to Lithuania and moved from there about the turn of the century. And he decided that he was, instead of being a clerk, he was going to be a coin collector. Early on, he started collecting coins in his father's shop and started making money with it and got magazines out. Ultimately, he was able to sell his dollar magazines, 70,000 a year, for his magazines, $1 each. And so he's very successful. And that's very strange that there's no historical marker or anything to mark this spot. But he made coin collecting famous for and possible for just the average person in America, all across America. He's well known. There's actually Mehlisms and Mehl fan clubs even now among coin collectors. There was the 1913 Liberty coin, that Liberty head nickel, that was famous with Mr. Mehl. That coin, there was 5 coins that were minted in 1913 when they changed to the Buffalo head nickel, and only 5 got minted. And they went into circulation, but they didn't go into circulation. Someone got them immediately. They went into collectors. But Mr. Mehl circulated the idea that there was a 6th one, and he gave everybody, told them he'd give them $50 if they found one. Which in 1920, whenever this happened, I'm not sure exactly, but about that time period, $50 is equivalent to $1,000 or more now. So you had streetcar operators holding up the cars, trying to go through the change, and slowing down the cars across Fort Worth and other cities. So trying to look for that 1913 coin. Nobody found it that way, but Mr. Mehl had those coins, 2 of those coins in his possession. He had it once before it went to King Farouk in Egypt, and when King Farouk died, they gave him a coin again to entrust to him. So he had it in his possession twice, and then he sold it. Recently, that coin sold. One of those coins sold for more than $4 million. There was another coin like that someone had. Mr. Watson had one of those coins, and he was a coin collector. He bought it for $3,700 in 1945, and he knew it was valuable then. And he was going to a coin collecting convention in 1962, and he had an accident. Was killed in a car accident. His family got the coin was in his possession. Coin collectors looked at it and said, "Oh no, it's a fake. That 1913 is inscribed on there." And so the family just put it in storage. 40 years later, in 2003, there was a special convention, and they were putting out advertisements, and they had the 4 coins there, and they're putting advertisements to find the 5th. The family said, "Well, maybe let's take it." They took the coin there. It was genuine. It was appraised at $2.5 million. It sold for $3.1 million 10 years later. So anyway, let's go look at the front of the facade, and we'll finish with this building. You can see it says Numismatist Company of Texas, Max Mehl. The H is missing. The Mehl is missing. This building was kind of abandoned. Mr. Mehl built this building when he was 32 years old. He was so successful in his coin collection operation, he was able to build a special building, and he got it specially fixed. That Frugio coin right on top, that's the Frugio coin. That is a bas relief of the first penny ever minted in the United States. And then there's several coins over here, other coins, I'm not sure what they are. If I knew, I would tell you, but I don't know enough about coin collecting. But I do know that this is a very interesting historical site in Fort Worth completely neglected as far as I can tell. We have a plastic surgeon that works in the offices and things like that, but it's not very well known, and Mr. Mehl doesn't seem to be well known. But in 1973, there was a Hawaii Five-0 episode involving the Liberty 1913 nickel that being stolen, called the $100,000 nickel. If you want to watch that episode, you'll see something about the kind of coins that Mr. Mehl was trading in and making famous. So he was a man who made well, very famous in Fort Worth at his time, internationally known. He made coin collecting popular among the masses, made people think, man, I can make money, because he put little cartoons and said, you too can make money. But he didn't deal with those people only. He dealt with people like Franklin Delano Roosevelt, Amon Carter, King Farouk. All those people were bought and sold coins to Mr. Mehl. And so it's very strange to me that this building is so neglected and his name is not well known. Maybe he was politically incorrect in some way, I don't know. But it seems like he's a very interesting person, and we ran across this building after looking at a book by Mr. Nichols called Lost Fort Worth. I recommend that book to you. We've been tracking down some of the things. I'll try to track down some more of his and other things that we find using the very useful Texas historical markers. Thank you. I hope you enjoy this video.